Greetings, family. Hope you're doing good. Let's talk. Let's gist. Let's vibe. Today, we're going to be talking about what is freedom. Are we free today? Or does slavery still exist? What does it mean to be truly free? The common concept today is that once you're educated, you have a job, you have a nice home, a decent car, you're considered free. You've made it. But freedom never used to mean any of these things. Freedom used to be all about the mind. Today we are being led in everything we do. That's why we can't create. Because only a free mind can create. An enslaved mind is trained only to know enough just to survive, but not to become a master of himself. The thing is, our minds are no longer ours, in the sense that they are no longer free. A woman gives birth to a child. Before that child turns 2 to 3 years, it has to be in school. The programming has to start early. They have to do things the exact same way everybody else was doing them before they came. And they're not allowed to question the system. Assuming that system was even working, it would have been better. But even after following through on that system, from primary, secondary, tertiary, service year, master's degree, PhD, is still not working. Why? Because that person is being led. It's not creating anything new. It's simply just following the footsteps that someone has set for him. Isn't that slavery? Because it's not free to invent anything. If you think it's a lie, what has Africa invented in the past 10 years? Africa as a continent. Is it because people there are not intelligent enough? No. It's because the majority of the population prefer to be led than to create. Which is why in Nigeria, you will find out that the Igbo people, they are so successful when it comes to business. Yet, they are not as educated as you would consider if you're talking about Western education. But when it comes to trade, business, they are experts at it. What secret do they have? They dare to create. Look at our youth today. How many youths are in a creative mind state? Their mindset. How many of them consider creation as a hobby? The few that do, they make some money from it. Content creators, YouTube content creators are all over the place. But what are they creating? Must everything be about laugh? Comedy? Can we get serious for a minute? Can we begin to address our problems so we solve them? Can we do that? Can we act like the problems in the world we are in today is going to be solved by Jesus when he comes? Can we re-educate ourselves on the truth of what our history really was? I think it's a very sad thing for us to learn about our history from Western education. What if the language has been the problem all along? Yeah. The English language, the spelling. What if this wordings has been the problem all along? What if we've been laying curses on ourselves indirectly without knowing all along? What if? Because in order for you to say you are a free person, your language has to be yours. Even the tribal language you have today, these were not the same languages that we had in the beginning. I'm talking about before Egypt, before Kemet. We are ancient beings, spiritual beings having a physical experience. That's what we are. But somebody wants to tell you that you are a human being and we are all one human race, even though we don't all look alike, because the sun made me dark and the sun made somebody else light. Lies. But they want to educate you on that. And if you don't agree with that terminology, then you are not educated. We need to do better. They say the children are the future leaders of tomorrow. Parents, listen to your children. We are the leaders of tomorrow. But it's a very sad thing to see that the children that are supposed to be leaders of tomorrow, they are confused. Because they came into this world without any foundation. There was no backing, no support, no truth. Everything you think you know is not what you think it is. From the medical system to the educational system to even our food industry, nutrition is not what you think it is. Is it the makeup industry? Which one do we make? Which one do we own? Which one do we manufacture by ourselves, for ourselves? Which one? And even when we manufacture these things, we still have to report to organizations created by these authorities that you have to meet specific requirements. Why do we have fluoride in our toothpaste? Why do we have fluoride in our water? Why do we have... If we start asking certain questions, it will show we are thinking. But until we start thinking, we can't solve our problems. So, because the same people who created those problems, they can't solve it for you. They created it. The way to get out of a rat race is to stop being a rat. Provided you're a rat, you still keep running in that rat race, hoping you win, hoping you get that house, hoping you get that car. We are not slaves. We are royalty. Study your history. Eat healthy. Honor your ancestors. Stop being led like sheep. It is okay for you to have a different mindset than what everybody else does, what everybody else has. We're living in society today like we're free, but we're not really free. Because even our money is not our own. Money is like paper being printed in a machine. That's what everybody is out here working so hard for. Because without that paper, they can't eat. Without that paper, they won't be able to stay in the house. Without that paper, they can't get the basic necessities of life. I get it. But these are the effects of slavery. Let us be honest with ourselves. You cannot be asking a system that is not working to work. You cannot be asking a system that enslaved you to free you. You have to free yourselves first by freeing your mind. You have to break free from that mental conditioning. Tell yourself the truth. They say the truth can set you free. Only the truth will. What we've been programmed to accept as the truth is not the truth. You are not some worthless human being or some speck of dirt that was created in Garden of Eden. Garden of Eden was not about us. Learn how to analyze things and do research when you need to. Most likely, any information being spoon-fed to you is not the truth. The one you go look out for yourself, that's where you get the truth. Stop being a rat in a rat race. We are gods and goddesses in the sense that we are creators. We create things. We create universes. We create realms, beings. But we have lost that knowledge because we were attacked. And we still don't know we're being attacked. Because the air is being poisoned, the water is being poisoned, the food, GMOs, the medicines are synthetic. When do you know something that is synthetic to work in a natural body? We are melanated beings, meaning we are connected to the cosmos, to the universe, to the plants, to the animals, to the trees, to the ground, to the soil. We are connected to everything. So if anybody attacks the planet, they are attacking you. The planet has 70% water. We have 70% water. If anything should happen to the percentage of water on the planet, it will affect the percentage of water in us. So when they tell you that there are wildfires, that forests are burning, and you're having mood swing, you don't understand. We are connected. It is still slavery. Because if you don't do things according to certain people's wishes, you won't be able to live life the way you want. That's why you need to break free from the mental conditioning, and it starts with religion. From religion, you can now begin to switch to other departments. But first, break free from the idea that some white person is coming to save you. You are the Christ. The Christ is an oil, it's a kundalini that it rises in you. Let us learn the truth so we can break free from this heartbreak of a society that we are in today that is heading for catastrophe. Because if we, as the men, the women in society, if we don't hold ourselves accountable, who will hold us accountable, please? If we don't question ourselves, if we don't advise ourselves, if something is not working, let us stop managing, let's fix it, let's address it. And it starts with yourself. Address your traumas, your fears, your worries, your heartbreaks. Address the things that hurt you so your light can shine the brightest, so you can be the best version of yourself. And you can't do that with ignoring your ancestors. You can't do that by ignoring your ancestors. You have to honor them. You have to thank them because they protect you, they guide you, they advise you. You don't need anybody in your spiritual life if you make your life a prayer. Make your entire being, your temple, an altar. You watch what goes in, watch what you think, watch everything. You observe, but you don't absorb. That way, you get to become high vibrational. And when you're vibrating high based on the things you're doing that you love, you're being yourself, that authentic nature, that joy you feel, that excitement you feel, anybody who comes around you must feel that same thing too. Because it's showing that you are free, that you are you. You're not meeting up to anybody's expectation, anybody cut off mark. If anybody don't like you like this, let them go and sleep. Let them go and rest. Anybody projecting their own opinion on you is not your business. That's for you to worry about. But you have to start with holding yourself accountable. You have to be disciplined on certain levels. You can't be stupid. This is spiritual warfare out here. We are being attacked on a daily. It's getting harder and harder to survive. People are actually dying. It's not funny. In order for us to be free again, our minds have to be our own. In order for us to be free again, our educational system has to be our own. These days we send children to schools to learn, but they come back being different. Of course, why would they want to learn about ancestors when all they teach them in school is CROS, CROK? Our kids are being programmed. That's why we have to put an end to it by fixing those programming tactics. But you can't see them if you don't become honest with yourself. If you don't do some shadow work on yourself. If you don't heal from your own traumas. Before you remove the rod in someone else's eye, you have to remove the straw in yours. The Bible said that. So the changes we are looking for is not in the hands of the people who caused this problem. The changes we are looking for is in our own hands. We have to know that we've been deceived to follow a way that didn't work. That's why you see they keep having the same prayer point every year. In spirituality, you don't really need prayer points. Because your whole life is a prayer. The way you live, the way you think, what you eat, where you go, who you hang around, the way you live. Your temple is your altar, and you're working with your temple every day. Your temple is not some building of block and cement and decking. That's not where your attention should be. It should be on you, on yourself. Don't you know that ye are gods? The Bible said that. Love yourself. Then love your neighbor as you love yourself. And out of love for your neighbor, you will be moved to speak your truth when the situation arises. That's what freedom is. We claim we have freedom of speech in society today, but everybody is quick to attack everybody for speaking. And you shouldn't say that. Who are you to say what somebody else shouldn't say? If you don't like it, keep it pushing. So let us show compassion. Let us show love. Let us show humility as we learn to become our authentic selves again. Because to be authentic, you have to be free. And we have not been free. We have been programmed. We have been indoctrinated. We have been deceived. We have been confused. But it was never freedom. But it is time for freedom. Free your own mind from all this programming today. Holding your ancestors, there's nothing you cannot do. Be a good person. It actually pays. And let your ancestors fight for you. Have a nice one.